Okay. I will talk about Abraham Lincoln's book by an author that I don't know, but I'm practicing my English, and this is a way of speaking and improving my English because I'm not. I'm a, I am. I want to speak and improve my videos in English. So this is my first time reading um, kind of sort of to you. So I will um, begin. Is Abraham Lincoln a legacy of freedom? As I will not be a slave, so I will not be a master. This expresses my idea of democracy. Whatever differs from this, to the extent of the difference, is not democracy. In this temple, as in the hearts of the people from whom he saved the Union, the memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever. What Lincoln Means to Me by Eileen Mackevich. Among history's heroes, Abraham Lincoln stands out as the American original, born to unaspiring parents on the hard-scrabble frontier. His meteoric rise was never less than inspiring. Lincoln continued to grow and remake himself anew throughout his lifetime. Even 200 years later, we seek his guidance. In truth, we can do naught better than to emulate our 16th president, a man of dogged, so very American ambition, but also one whose resolve was always tempered by an unswerving determination never to compromise his personal integrity. Never barring our Lincoln, he is a simple man, a complex man, a rushdabout, a jokester, a recusal, a man of action, a visionary. Just when we think we understand him, he eludes us. He is not a man to be pigeonholed. There is a Lincoln for all seasons and all reasons. Scholars find rich soil in Lincoln's many manifestations. They debate the substance of his life and the larger meaning of his tragic death. How did his views on race evolve? Why did he move so cautiously on emancipation? Was the move only by the imperative of battlefield success and the consequent need to greater support from abroad? When did he embrace the idea of full citizenship for the former slaves? Will his Reconstruction plan have successfully rounded north and south while ensuring the former slaves their full legal equality? Only Lincoln could have steered us from their tragic course of race relation for only Lincoln could have steered us from the tragic course of race relations that followed his death. As John Hope Franklin, the African American scholar, often called the dean of American historians, put it, Of all the American presidents, only Lincoln stayed up nights worried about the fate of my people. While Lincoln today enjoys the near universal esteem of his countrymen, during his lifetime he was hardly a man for all seasons and all reasons. Many Southerners and abolitionists disliked him. Frederick Douglass, the former slave-turned-abolitionist author, editor, and political reformer, also the most admired man in England, faulted Lincoln for failing to act swiftly on emancipation. Douglass felt that Lincoln was too solicitous of the slave-holding border states that refrained from joining the Southern Rebellion. Only later did Douglass perceive Lincoln's political artistry. The president he came to understand was a masterfully pragmatical politician who knew just how fast and how far he could push the American people toward abolition. Ever anxious to learn, Lincoln invited outspoken people to the White House. He respected their honesty. Douglass was one. Another was Anna Dickinson, a quarter activism abolitionistic woman rights advocate and intense Lincoln admirer. But she turned against Lincoln because he would not support her charge of treason against the pompous political schemes General George B. McClellan. Lincoln listened respectfully to Americans of different stripes, from Negro abolitionists to quarter activists, to the talented, high-powered individuals he included in this cabinet, to his political rivals. But the important decisions always were Lincoln's alone. As a leader, Lincoln moved deliberately, always testing the prevailing political winds. He changed his mind often. He was, in the modern jargon of the disgusting historian James Horton, the ultimate flip-flopper, but the great social scientist W. E. B. Du Bois may have reached the essential truth when he called Lincoln big enough to be inconsistent. Du Bois may have reached the essential truth when he called Lincoln big enough to be inconsistent. My great attraction to Lincoln rests on his nobility of character, his self-making in the larger 19th century sense described by historian John Stoffer, because his thought was deeply grounded in a belief in equality and in the ideals of freedom. We can imagine all things from Lincoln. He might have solved his race problems.